Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Hunter Army Airfield, Georgia. On behalf of Lieutenant Colonel Kenneth R. Dower, Commander of the 4th Battalion, 3rd Aviation Regiment, welcome to the Change of Responsibility ceremony. Today, Command Sgt. Major Bobbie Vasquez will relinquish responsibility as the 4th Battalion, 3rd Aviation Regiment Command Sergeant Major to Command Sergeant Major Karl Kurz. Today's ceremony reflects procedures practiced since the birth of our Army in 1775. The formation of troops centered on our national flag represent the unified purpose of our Army and its willingness to make the ultimate sacrifice in the defense of our nation. Next to our national flag are the unit's colors. This closeness to the national flag symbolizes the trust placed in us by our nation. Before each company is its guidon. Like the parent unit colors, it is a rallying point for members of the unit and representative of unit pride. Ladies and gentlemen, our distinguished guests attending today's ceremony, Colonel and Mrs. Harless, Command Sergeant Major Lord, Chief Warrant Officer 5 and Lieutenant Colonel Deschamps, United States Special Operations Aviation Command, Command Sergeant Major Manitin and Mrs. Manitin, 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment Command Sergeant Major Santos, fellow commanders and Command Sergeants Major, Marne Rockstars, family and friends from Fort Stewart and Hunter Army Airfield communities. The reviewing officer for today's ceremony is Lieutenant Colonel Kenneth Dower, Commander, 4th Battalion, 3rd Aviation Regiment. The Commander of Troops is 1st Sergeant Joshua Marshall. The music is provided by the 3rd Infantry Division Woodwind Ensemble.
He assumes this vital role, granting wisdom to lead with clarity, liberty to uphold the trust placed in him, and grace to guide the brawlers with compassion and strength. We look up to his family, Haley, Leighton, Addie Ray, and Rye, and surround them with peace, support, and encouragement as they embark on this new chapter together. Lord, we also pray for the brawlers as they prepare for their mission in support of Atlantic Resolve. Protect them as they carry out their duties. Keep safe, united, and steadfast in their purpose. In the name of the one who is here to fight for us, we pray. Amen.
Please be seated. The colors you see moving forward symbolize the very soul of the United States and the 4th Battalion, 3rd Aviation Regiment, where they record the glories of the past, stand as guardian over the present, and inspire in the soldiers the loyalty, duty, and courage to achieve victory in the future. In the past, colors served as a rallying point for soldiers in finding the center of the battle lines and the commander. Today, colors continue to be the symbol of the unit and commander and accompany the command wherever it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem. Please be seated. Change of Responsibility is a simple yet traditional event that is rich with symbolism and heritage. Key to the ceremony is the passing of the colors. The very soul of a military unit is symbolized in the colors under which it fights, for they represent not only the lineage and honors of the unit, but also the loyalty and unity of its soldiers. The custodian of the colors is the Command Sergeant Major, who is the senior enlisted soldier in the unit and principal advisor to the commander. The commander of troops is now passing the colors to Command Sgt. Major Vasquez, the outgoing Command Sergeant Major. Relief of responsibility for Command Sergeant Major Bobbie Vasquez. Having served faithfully with distinction, you are hereby relieved of your responsibility as the Battalion Command Sergeant Major. Command Sergeant Major Vasquez is now passing the colors to Lieutenant Colonel Dower, signifying her last official act as the Battalion Command Sergeant Major in gratitude for the opportunity to care for the soldiers and families of the 4th Battalion, 3rd Aviation Regiment. Lieutenant Colonel Dower is now passing the colors to Command Sergeant Major Karl Kurz, the incoming Command Sergeant Major, charging him with the responsibility for the unit as the new Battalion Command Sergeant Major. Charge. Orders for Command Sergeant Major Kurz. Let it be known from this day forward that the commander of the 4th Battalion, 3rd Aviation Regiment has placed special trust and confidence in your patriotism, dedication, integrity, and leadership abilities. Therefore, you are hereby appointed as the Command Sergeant Major of the 4th Battalion, 3rd Aviation Regiment. Command Sergeant Major Kurz will now return the colors to the Commander of Troops, symbolizing his dedication and commitment to the soldiers and families of the 4th Battalion, 3rd Aviation Regiment. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the 4th Battalion, 3rd Aviation Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Kenneth Dower.
Good afternoon. My name is Ken Dower, and I am a proud dog-faced soldier. Colonel Harless, Command Sergeant Major Lord, CW5 Deschamps, or PSD Ancient, Lieutenant Colonel Deschamps, or B6 Ancient, another B6 Ancient, Lieutenant Colonel Clapp, ladies and gentlemen, Martin rock stars, distinguished guests, fellow soldiers, families, and friends of the Brawlers. Today, on the 19th of September, George Washington did his farewell address. And while my comments will fail to measure up, I assure you that Bobbie Vasquez's, when she's up here, will. And I feel that it's only fitting that we gather here today under the same flag that George Washington fought with all of his resolve to recognize the continuity of service and leadership in this formation. As usual, though, the Brawlers train under the more demanding of circumstances. And in this instance, it's the sun and the warmer weather than the previous 2 CORs that occurred this week. Or perhaps I just need to talk with the planner. So, Grant, let me know who that was. And as I've said at every ceremony, go ahead and relax. And I mean it. Shake it out, please. Like, go on. Order. Go ahead. Relax. You can take a knee if you need. Because ultimately, and don't worry, Command Sergeant Major Vasquez, as always, will make me pay with another run for doing this before we're out the door. But I really do want you to hear what your 2 senior non-commissioned officers have to say when they come up to this podium. To the 3ID band, thank you for adding the flair and professionalism that makes these ceremonies great. Today, we bid farewell to my battle buddy, Bobbie Vasquez. My battle buddy and your senior NCO for 2 years. She's a leader who has led from the front with unwavering resolve, professionalism, and purpose. Command Sergeant Major asked me to make sure that I cover much of the unit's history over the last 2 years so that she can focus on Everything else, as usual, making it happen. So, when I first met all of you, or when she first met you all in EUCOM, you were already deployed to Romania and Turkey. You all executed every mission and created the bonds with our partner nations. You deployed to Greece when asked, standing ready to fight the fires alongside our partners. You trained hard creating proficient maintainers. That's both ground and air. You trained and progressed crew chiefs, pilots and commands, AMCs, and so much more. You conducted a 2-day ground convoy that Sergeant Major loves to reference to NSTA, where you did a combined FTX with all MDSs and a ground force. This, by the way, is where I first met all of you, and this is where I first met my battle buddy, and that's where I quickly realized I was not joining a team, I was joining the team. I wasn't getting just a battle buddy, I was getting the battle buddy. And that would make this journey amazing. Upon a safe redeployment, and within 53 days, you all went to JRTC, barely having a moment to reset, a moment to connect with the families, and of course, you crushed it. Not only did you crush it, you scared the Alpha team when the weather came in and you were still out in the field. Then there was a battalion, or perhaps a Quad A ball. You went through 4 Brawler 6s within these last 2 years. You stood ready and deployed to support POTUS on multiple occasions. You stood ready to assist Western North Carolina after 3 hurricanes. You crushed arms, and this FSC set the standard, period. You were plank holders on the southern border while a joint division level headquarters was built. An FTX within a week's redeployment, or for Bobbie, who stayed for trail, 2 days, and then she's back out in the field with the Brawlers, ensuring that we're ready to go on this deployment. And during that time, we executed a nighttime mixed air assault to the X. We drove over 1,800 miles, proving the ground fleet's maintenance, and this was not in our back 40, but up to Fort Gordon. And now, we stand ready and trained to depart for EUCOM. And while this reads quickly, and I'm sure it doesn't to all of you, so shake it out again, it only occurred because of dedicated leadership and a desire to leave behind something greater than ourselves. And that's really all of you out in formation. None of it occurs without any of you. So thank you for making it count daily, which is always my charge. But today is just the end of another chapter in the great history of the Brawlers. Command Sgt. Major Vasquez has held the pen for the past 2 years and wrote many a tales of glory. Her leadership has not only inspired us to succeed, but it has grounded us. As I mentioned before, Brawler 7 during her tenure has been the battle buddy to 4 Brawler 6s, all of which are here today, and that's a testament to you, Bobbie. It was her steady leadership that maintained this battalion in turbulent times. Bobbie, thank you for being my sounding board. Thank you for being my battle buddy, my conscience, and the person who always could be counted on for telling me when I was too bold, which was perhaps often. And on rare occasion, perhaps when I was not bold enough. Thank you for the late night phone calls. Had to make sure I got one more in last night just to say hi, battle buddy. The manning miracles and the simple straight talk that made the decisions for this battalion better. Thank you for taking my family, Tina, Kenneth, and Caitlin. I got you, babe. After being gone from the States for 5 years. Thank you for welcoming us into your home. Thank you for taking care of our first child, Duke Dog, when we had to do on an immediate weekend jaunt, first week back into the States. Thank you to you and Matthew for our dinners together. Thank you for filling my office for balloons on my birthday, and for the token to remember Duke Dog when we lost him this last Christmas. I see it every day. Thank you for saving my better half and son when they got a flat riding bikes around Perimeter Road and a terrible storm rolled through unannounced, as is common here in Savannah. Thank you for letting me join you on runs, even if I love to talk the duration, but hey, I did keep pace unlike the S6. And thank you for risking your ability to write by helping me ensure every brawler received a handwritten card from the top 3. And I won't go in depth, but tactical dodgeball, face paint that made us not be able to feel our face, that made me have to go see the dermatologist, Arizona, and of course, karaoke. But I won't share that video. Battle, well done. And know this, we are better for having served with you, truly. Command Sgt. Major Kurz, Brawler 7. I get to be the first one to say it. Welcome. Know you're inheriting a battalion that is disciplined, capable, and ready because of the leaders who came before you. You are inheriting a high standards and even higher expectations. I know you are ready, and I look forward to working with you and ensuring that we reach those higher expectations. And you've arrived at a critical juncture. Many of us head out this coming Tuesday, some of us on Sunday. And here we are, ready, because of those leaders before you and because you're along our side. Together, we will lead this formation. Command Sergeant Major Kurz, the ink is always wet on our history, and you are now holding the pen to add to the many great stories. A change of responsibility is more than a tradition. It's a reminder that while leaders may change, the mission endures. The duty may transfer, but the spirit of this task force, forged in challenges, sharpened in services, flies on. To Bobbie, thank you for making it count. Thank you to your loving family, Kaylee and Matthew, Deidre and Stephen. Thank you also to Jess, Brian, and John. Brian, I hope you're watching. And let's not forget your awesome pets, Jerry and Willow. We know that Bobbie would not be here today without you, nor the leader she is today. And I, along with the Brawlers, are truly in debt to you for that. Know we are excited to see you and your future chapters unfold. Stay in touch, and please wear sunscreen. Don't worry. We're almost done, for my part. To Command Sergeant Major Kurz, Karl, welcome to the Brawlers. Thank you to your wife, Kaylee, and your family with us here today, Leighton, Addie Ray, and Rye, along with Lieutenant Colonel Cortez, Command Sergeant Major Manitin, and wife Danielle, and Command Sergeant Major Santos, along with Lieutenant Colonel Groh, Command Sergeant Major Bacchus, and CW5 Holmes, for being here today and supporting Karl. He wouldn't be here without all of you, and probably some that I missed, so I apologize. To the soldiers, the Brawlers, thank you for making us better every day. Without you, we come to a screeching halt, and more importantly, without you, we have no purpose. Rock of the Marne, Marne Air, here to fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the outgoing Command Sergeant Major, Command Sergeant Major Bobbie Vasquez.
Hold on, I'm gonna need a stool. All right, that's better. Good afternoon, distinguished guests, family, and friends. Thank you for being here today. I can't promise this will be as short as my incoming speech, T-minus 27 seconds and counting, but I will make an effort. Because I know I'm probably one of the last things standing between you and your weekend. I am sincerely grateful to Colonel Harless, Command Sergeant Major Lord, and Mr. Deschamps for entrusting me with the privilege of leading. My name is Bobbie Vasquez, and I am a proud dog-faced soldier. I have had the honor and privilege of serving as your battalion Command Sergeant Major. On paper, 23 months and 8 days. It may not look like much, but when you add it up, that's 16,992 hours. It becomes clear. Plenty of time to influence change, to face challenges, and to build a lifetime of moments with this team. This battalion is much like the aircraft we fly. Helicopters are designed with countless moving parts, all under constant stress and with very little room for error. Delta Company is like the frame, the blades, and the engines, the foundation carrying the weight and driving the mission. The warrant officers are the avionics and flight controls. Hey, if you guys need to take a knee out there, you guys can take a knee. I timed this is about 8 minutes. I need you guys to make it through. If you need to take a knee, take a knee. I won't say anything. That'll be Command Sergeant Major Kurz's new thing, maybe. All right. The warrant officers are the avionics and flight controls, providing precision and technical expertise to keep all the systems in sync. Officers set the flight path, guiding the way to where we are needed most. And the first sergeant? Well, the first sergeant is the critical link, balancing discipline, training, and welfare, keeping everything aligned so that the aircraft, your company, does not fail. Just as no helicopter can afford failure, neither can we. And while perfection was never the goal, discipline, readiness, and resilience has been. This is what makes us the best assault helicopter battalion in this Army, not because I say so, but because it's proven in their actions. To my first sergeants, First Sergeants Marshall, Cagle, Chambers, Barber, Mengel, Strout, Derkovic, Cervantes, Smith, and Coleman, thank you. Thank you for the candid conversations that kept me grounded, the laughs that carried us through, and yes, the early Saturday calls that reminded me your commitment never rested. You have been the standard bearers for your companies. You showed honesty, humility, and the willingness to have the hard conversations. I'll never forget the times when one of you came into my office with that look on your face, and you know the one I'm talking about, where I wasn't sure if I was about to get good news, bad news, or a story that I was going to laugh at for the rest of the week. Those moments mattered because they reminded me that leadership isn't about having all the answers. It's about being willing to face the hard truths together. Remember, not everyone is a top block, and that's okay. What matters is that you remain honest brokers for your soldiers, for your commanders, and for yourselves. I could not have asked for a stronger team at my side. To the company commanders, Captain Stone, Hoagland, Bowman, Sims, Ellenberg, Smog, McNaughton, Holden, Wilgenbush, Neidert, Kruger, Marquillo, and can't forget Chaplain Fernandez. You were a remarkable group. I appreciated that you never hesitated to call when something didn't make sense, and that you trusted me enough to advise you through challenges no one had ever heard of, like having to pay to be a crew chief. That was a real thing. Those conditions weren't out of this world, but the way we navigated them together showed your resilience and your trust. You sought perspective, not because you lacked ability, but because you cared enough about getting it right for your soldiers. That humility is strength, and it set the tone for your formations. And although I'd never keep score, I dare to guess which one of you spent more time in my office. Let's just say Captain Hoagland and Captain Stone, if you're watching, I think you tie for the championship belt on that one. Now to my battalion commanders, my battle buddies, all four of them. To my first commander, Lieutenant Colonel Ricky Clapp. We were Ricky Bobbie, shaking and baking through every mission. When one of us was fired up like Ricky yelling, "I want to go fast!" I stayed calm, steady, and made sure we didn't spin out, and vice versa. That balance kept us in the race. More than that, I gained not only your trust, but a forever friend. You were the Ricky to my Bobbie, the partner I needed to start this journey. To my second commander, Lieutenant Colonel Lisa Deschamps. Your time as commander may have been short, but it was straight out of Stripes. That's a 1981 reference if anybody knows what I'm talking about. Just like the recruits who thought they were signing up for something simple, we thought JRTC would be the big event. Instead, we found ourselves in the chaos of JRTC, LTP, and 101 staff ride, which turned out to be mine and Lisa's whirlwind tour of the Southeast, boarding a plane only to be called back in the first 10 minutes of the flight. Then came the Southern Border mission. It was on, it was off, on again. And in the middle of that chaos, life struck. My mom passed just weeks into your command, and soon after shoulder surgery sidelined me for a month. You could have let it all unravel. But you were the steady leader and sounding board I needed. I will always be grateful for your strength and compassion during one of the toughest chapters of my life. And finally, to Ken, and my current battalion commander, Lieutenant Colonel Ken Dower 2.0. Like the Lion King, you left for a season, and when you returned, you brought renewed energy and stability. You reminded us that leadership, like the circle of life, is about continuity as much as change. You began here, left for the brigade, then returned with perspective and steadiness that shaped the way we led together. Your respect for non-commissioned officers strengthened the entire team. Even on the southern border, the teamwork felt like professional wrestling. Tagging in and out, much like the Four Horsemen. It's professional wrestling, if anybody knows what that is. Working together as a unit, each stepping in when the moment called for it. We tagged in for Task Force Nighthawks, Lieutenant Colonel Berg and Command Sergeant Major Fry, carrying the mission forward and bringing the unit and its equipment home. All while getting the thumbs up from the Secretary of War, Pete Hexa. And to your family, Tina, Kenneth, and Caitlin, thank you for the support you gave. From the cookies on the road trips to the thoughtful cards, I truly appreciate that. As you prepare for Europe and this upcoming rotation, I wish you nothing but continued strength and success. To my fellow battalion sergeant majors, and this includes Command Sergeant Major Faber and Command Sergeant Major former McLaughlin. You serve in one of the most thankless arenas in the Army, yet you are the strongest and most resilient group I've ever known. Like the wolf pack in The Hangover, we didn't sign up for every twist and turn that came our way, but we faced them together with trust, humor, and respect. I'll always remember our gatherings, ending early so everyone could be in bed by 8 p.m. That's our disciplined version of what happens in Vegas, stays in Vegas. That bond is rare, and I am grateful to call you not just colleagues, but friends for life. To Command Sergeant Major Kurz, welcome to the Brawler family. You inherit an exceptional team of soldiers, leaders, and families, and I know you will take them even higher. Over the past month, I have valued our time exchanging information and perspectives. Your professionalism has been clear from the start, and it has been an honor to serve alongside you during this transition. The battalion is in capable hands, and I look forward to watching its future accomplishments. However, good luck on getting a decent dry erase board and chairs for your office. And now to Kaylee and Matthew, my children. Thank you for the sacrifices you've made during this 22-year journey in the Army. The late nights, the missed weekends, the countless times the Army came first. I know it wasn't easy. You have been my quiet strength and my reason to keep pushing forward and the constant reminder of what truly matters when this uniform comes off. I am proud of you both more than words can say, and I am grateful beyond measure for your love, patience, and support. This accomplishment is as much yours as it is mine. To my sister, Deidre, thank you. Your support has been constant, steady, and unwavering. You have been there through the highs and lows, not only for me, but for my family, filling in the gaps when I could not be there myself. Knowing you were always there gave me peace of mind and allowed me to serve with a clear focus. I could not have made it through these years without your love and presence. And finally, to my mom. The 23rd of September will mark 1 year since her passing. Yet even now, I still feel her presence, her guidance, and her love. Thank you, Mom, for being my #1 fan. For always supporting me, for shaping the person and leader I am today, and for continuing to watch over me from above. I carry you with me in every step of this journey. In closing, Task Force Brawlers, I have watched you adapt, perform, and succeed where failure was not an option. From the flight line to the southern border, from planning to execution, you have shown that our strength lies not in the individual, but in the collective. Helicopters are not built for comfort, they are built for purpose, and so it is with us. As I hand the reins to Command Sergeant Major Kurz, I do so with pride, humility, and gratitude. Serving as your Sergeant Major has been the greatest privilege of my career. Though my time here comes to a close, the legacy of what we have built together remains in the soldiers who will carry it forward. Brawlers, continue to fight, continue to serve, and continue to set the standard, because you are and always will be the best helicopter battalion in the Army. Rock of the Marne, here to fight. Brawler 7 signing out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Command Sergeant Major of 4th Battalion, 3rd Aviation Regiment, Command Sergeant Major Kurz.
Colonel Harless, Command Sergeant Major Lord, Mr. Deschamps, distinguished guests, family, friends, and most importantly, the soldiers of Task Force Brawler. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to be here. It is a true honor to join the Brawler team. My name is Karl Kurz, and I am a proud dog-faced soldier. To my wife, Kaylee, thank you for everything you have done over the last 12-plus years. You have been the rock on which I lean. My career and opportunity to lead this amazing unit is only possible because you manage everything at home and support me despite a full-time job and caring for 3 wonderful children. To Leighton, Addie Ray, and Rye, thank you all for supporting me as well as I continue my career. I know it isn't always easy, but your support makes it all worth it. I love you all. Bobbie, your leadership and capabilities are evident throughout the battalion and the soldiers. The entire Brawler team has been professional, educated, and helpful through the transition. Your dedication to act, to ensure the battalion has the right people in the right jobs at all times, shows how much you care for this battalion and the great leadership shoes I have to fill, regardless of how small they physically are. To my mentors and friends, Lieutenant Colonel Groh, Lieutenant Colonel Cortez, Command Sergeant Major Manton, Command Sergeant Major Santos, Sergeant Major Santiago, Dan, Jeremiah, Marco, Robbie, Josh, and all the fellow soldiers I have served with in attendance today, and those not able to make it, thank you for attending and supporting me throughout my journey. From leadership challenges and education, I have grown as a leader thanks to each and every one of you. To the soldiers, NCOs, and leaders of the Brawler Battalion, I am honored to serve with each and every one of you, and ensure the Brawler reputation of excellence continues. Rock of the Marne, Marne Air, here to fight, Brawler 7 signing on.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and join in the singing of the Marne song, the Dog-Faced Soldier, and the Army song, and remain standing for the retiring of the colors. This concludes today's ceremony. Thank you for attending. Please join Command Sergeant Major Kurz and his family for a reception at the Hunter Club. Here to fight, Marne Air.